Future Man, Season 2 of the Hulu series premieres Friday, January 11th. Good to see you,
Good to see you too, man.
Before Friday, January 11th, do you think Bryce Harper will make a decision to come to your Los Angeles Dodgers?
I wouldn't be sad about it. I've got my Dodger socks on, I think.
You do?
You know, that's just a coincidence. But
That's odd.
yeah.
That's a very odd coincidence.
Most of my clothing is either black or Dodger blue. So, you know. I think it would be great if he came, but I also think we can do without him. I mean, the team is built to homegrown players. I mean, we had a lot of people like Muncy example last year sort of come out of nowhere. So it's not a necessity, but it would be awesome to see him play in Los Angeles.
But don't you think the trade of Puig, right, and Kemp would be called a precursor, though? I mean,
I looked at my little Puigi bank yesterday and got a little sad that he's gone now. But
your what? What is it called?
You know, they gave away last year the Puigi bank that they gave out there, sitting on my desk. Yeah, you should have one of those around.
By the way, we should have a Puigi bank here.
We should.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can find it.
Especially since it's officially dated.
I know. Yeah, it's a piece of history now. Yeah.
An artifact. Yes, a sports artifact.
But I think their philosophy might just be to clear up that money. There may not be any big signing coming with the way this office works. So, you know, it's sort of hard to tell.
Clearing money for who? I mean,
for luxury tax and for next year, right? I mean, they just are thinking ahead. There's a free agent market next year to think about. But,
I guess so.
Yeah.
And so are you locked into the Lakers season best you can right now?
Yeah, I had a really great time watching the Christmas Day game with my whole family, watching everybody do it without LeBron over the Warriors. That was pretty exciting.
Right.
So, yeah.
I know. And, you know, obviously, I bet you he's coming back this week. They haven't made an announcement yet. But, you know, I think he's going to return.
Yeah, I guess that day was also mixed in with terror that something horrible had happened right here for him.
I know.
Yeah, you don't want to see that.
So, I mean, what's it like to have a team where Bryce Harper might be coming and then your basketball team gets LeBron James? I mean, that's some some yachts you're water skiing right behind.
We are spoiled in this city to see that sort of thing. And it's, you know, the word is that Bryce really wants to come play here, and who can blame him? I mean, it's a great city to play in.
So now we've had this conversation before, but for the audience so you're from Los Angeles? Would you say you're from Los Angeles?
I am, yeah. Okay. I was born here, but my parents are both from Birmingham, Alabama, and shockingly don't have any strong feelings either way towards Alabama or Auburn.
How is that possible?
Neither of them went to either school. Siblings didn't really go to either school.
But don't you have to declare if you live in that state?
Well, my dad studied theater in college, so he liked football. He's actually a lifelong Falcons fan. He was the rare case in the South of actually preferring the NFL, I think, to the SEC.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, his best friend went to Auburn, but there's just was never a strong pull either way.
Was it particularly big in your folks' household that your first film role you played the son of one of the best players in the history of Alabama, Forrest Gump?
That is true. That is part of the family history now. Yeah, that was a pretty big deal. Yeah.
in the household. Look at that. Oh, man. Joel Osment here on the Rich Eisen Show. And so the New York Giants, where does that come in? How do you become a New York Giant fan?
When I was growing up in Los Angeles, the Raiders and Rams had just left. I loved the NFL, but didn't really have. I guess that sort of comes from my dad. I didn't really have a strong pull towards any team because I didn't have a personal connection to it.
Right.
Then I moved to New York City in 2006. The Jets, if you can believe it, were the big, big thing in town back then.
I could believe it.
Yeah. So
I could believe it.
I went with the underdogs, and then it was a very rewarding experience watching them win 2 Super Bowls.
Yeah, I bet. So what do you think they should do with Eli right now?
I don't know. It depends on the quarterback they can get next year. I do think that they need to use Saquon more creatively because he can do anything. And looking at the plays they run with him compared to the way that Alvin Kamara is used or the way that Todd Gurley is used, I mean, the sky's the limit with him. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. So, but you as a diehard Giant fan, this is the person who management is taking into account with the way that they finish things up with Eli.
Right.
So if they do come up with, say, Flacco, or they come up with, say, the ability, let's just say John Gruden and my buddy Mike Mayock decide Derek Carr is not the guy. And they tell Eli, who's already declared, I want to come back and play, we're done now. Would you have a problem with that?
No, I think you got to think about the future right now. Yeah, I think you got to think about the future.
So that's
you
the
know?
bus that Eli's getting rolled by. right there.
I don't want Saquon to get beat up too much in his first couple years in the NFL. I think as much as I love Eli and as much as he got us those 2 Super Bowls.
What if they draft somebody first overall, or they move up to that pick, or they get Dwayne Haskins from Ohio State, or they get somebody?
Yeah, it depends on who you can get. I think.
So
yeah.
if they draft somebody high up and it's a rookie, adios.
Yeah, I guess so.
What
yeah.
if they run it back with him? You don't have a problem with that? One more time with Eli?
No, I also wouldn't have a problem if he can't. It really, I mean, they were saying this year if you had drafted a quarterback, not all those guys really worked out this year. It might not have been that much of an improvement.
True.
So,
I love Saquon,
yeah.
by the way.
Yeah.
I think he is a once-in-a-lifetime talent.
Yeah, absolutely.
And as even though we have here in Los Angeles coming up here this weekend, you've got Gurley and you've got Ezekiel Elliott.
That's going to be a great game.
It is going to be a great game. But you've got somebody in Saquon who can do what we hadn't seen since Eric Dickerson.
Absolutely.
At the running back position as a rookie. He's just been dynamite. And all you got to do is just find the right signal caller now. Maybe it is Eli. Just one more time.
It might be, I wouldn't cast myself as an authority over those things, but he's definitely the most important part of our offense
you're
right
a fan,
now. So,
man. I mean, that's enough of an authority.
Yeah.
Haley Joel Osment here on the Rich Eisen Show. Okay, so the show Future Man, you're in it with Eliza Coupe and Ed Begley Jr.
That's right.
Is in it. Glenn Headley, may she rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
In this season as well. This is now season 2 of the Hulu series.
That's right.
You enjoying doing it, brother?
It's one of my favorite things I've ever done.
No kidding.
And yeah, Eliza and I, in season 2, the characters are sort of split up and lost in the 150 years in the future. And me and Eliza sort of live in my Jetsons world high up above the wasteland of the Mad Max sort of world where Derek and Josh are stuck. So,
right.
it was a really great experience. There's some singing and dancing we got to do this season. And it is a seriously heavy deep dive into sci-fi philosophy. I had a 2.5-hour meeting with Kyle Hunter, Ari Shafir, and Ben Carlin, the writers and showrunners, at the start of the season, just explaining the plot to me. And at the end of that, it was like, oh yeah, and then we get to have jokes in it too.
Right.
So, yeah.
In the year 2162.
That's
things
right.
take place.
Yeah.
And then a film coming out at the Sundance Film Festival, Extremely Wicked, Shockingly Evil, and Vile. What a title of a film about Ted Bundy.
I think it might be known as the Zac Efron Ted Bundy movie.
Yes, sir.
But,
right.
Yeah, that's Joe Berlinger, the great documentarian, directed it, and it deals with how talented a manipulator Ted Bundy was as he strung along his 2 wives basically up to the point of his execution.
It's hell of a cast. I mean, Jim Parsons, John Malkovich as well.
Yeah, Lily Collins.
What's Malkovich like in real person?
He and I do not have a storyline together.
Did you ever meet him at all?
I think I met him a long time ago, but we didn't. It's a sprawling story, and I'm not in his storyline.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. And then another film, The Devil Has a Name, Edward James Olmos directed.
That's right.
Martin Sheen's in it. You're in it too. Alfred Molina.
Yeah, David Strathairn. Yeah.
By the way, David Strathairn in 8 Men Out is one of the best baseball movies of all time.
That's right. Yeah. He plays legend.
Eddie Seacott in that movie.
Yeah.
So I just went deep dive on you there on a sports movie.
That's very cool. Yeah. I love those intersections. Yeah. Yeah.
What's your favorite baseball movie? We're on that subject there.
League of Their Own is up there, actually. Just as, in terms of entertainment value as well as baseball.
Terrific.
Yeah. It's one of the best ones.
Oh, my gosh. To me, what makes a great sports movie are some of the lines that you can actually relate to, and it can be used in any sport or it can be used in any part of your life.
Absolutely, yeah.
So with Hoosiers, whenever I'm in a situation that's different, or anybody's in a situation that's different, I think of the scene where they measure from the rim to the floor and from the free throw line to the baseline. It's the same measurement, just a different building. Butler Fieldhouse is just a bigger spot.
That's right.
The line from A League of Their Own, I think I'm going to blow it now that I've set it up, that Tom Hanks says, if baseball was so easy, everyone would do it.
Yeah. I think that's the right quote,
and you could basically say that about any endeavor in life.
It's true, yeah. That's a terrific one. It's hard to make I think of all the sports that you could make a movie about, baseball is probably one of the hardest. And there hasn't been a truly great one in a while. I think that's a testament to it.
Well, isn't it true? I don't know. Again, I read this that at the end of The Natural, that Robert Redford had to basically practice throwing a baseball. Spoiler alert! In the field of the wheat.
Yeah.
That because. I was told as well that P. Diddy, right? Who told us this? That
P. Diddy was supposed to be Willie Beeman.
The quarterback from Any Given
Really?
Sunday.
And he couldn't throw a football.
He couldn't throw a football.
Yeah.
I made a movie. This is a little off topic, but I made a movie
I've
in
heard that.
Poland with Willem Dafoe about 15 years ago, and my dad and I brought gloves and a ball. We're thrown in the cornfield, and all these big, strong crewmen over there were like, "Oh." It just didn't translate over there.
Throwing
Nobody
a
over there
baseball?
could pull it off. Like, it was a great day of showing some people in the Eastern Bloc how to throw a baseball.
And by the way, being able to start a sentence saying I did a movie with Willem Dafoe in Poland is a perfect way to say that I'd love to
It was
play,
a bucket list thing.
No,
yeah.
I'd love to play Celebrity True or False with you if we can.
Let's
here.
do it,
Okay,
yeah.
here we go.
Celebrity true
Keeping it real.
or false.
Bullet points from either Wikipedia profiles or other profiles that we wonder if are true or false.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. First up, you ran cross country in high school. True or false?
That is true.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what sort of how good were you?
I could run close to a 5-minute mile back then. Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah, we had a great coach, great team. Yeah, great formative experience.
And
yeah.
how far did you go? I guess in terms of competition.
I was basically JV, but our varsity team had some truly. I think we went to Division One. I'm having trouble remembering, but we had some truly world-class runners up there who went to
Where was this?
state championships at Flint Ridge Prep in La Cañada.
La Cañada.
Yeah.
By the way, La Cañada, Flint Ridge. It's always that's nationally. I'll let you know. There's always traffic there. Whenever I hear the traffic and weather here in Los Angeles, it's like La Cañada, Flint Ridge is always some sort of jackknife tractor trailer.
But the two's the best freeway to drive on. Isn't that a great stretch of freeway?
There we go. It's beautiful. Next up, true or false? You were the only boy who wore a tie in your audition for The Sixth Sense. True or false?
I think that's false.
Okay.
I think I have a pretty clear memory of that day. I think it was a white button down, but no tie.
No tie.
Yeah.
You went open collar.
Yeah.
How old were you at the time?
I was 10 years old.
Come on. You also read for the script for The Sixth Sense 3 times the night before the audition. Is that a true story?
That's right. Yeah.
As a 10-year-old.
It's a quick read. Yeah, it's a good
Were you
script.
just? I mean, what's it like to be walking in there at 10 and do that sort of thing?
By that age, the gravity definitely is, you can feel the importance of it. But reading for the casting director, A.V. Kaufman, and then Frank Marshall and Kathleen Kennedy, and then Knight himself, all people who did a lot to make you feel comfortable. And also, remember, they had assigned a Wilt Chamberlain basketball out in the office. So
Now,
I
what
was
are you
taking,
talking
that
about?
sort of took my...
What do you mean?
In the casting office. I just remember that's the last thing I was looking at before I went in there. So maybe that was some Laker good luck.
It could have been
Yeah.
that. So Wilt, you at age 10, you knew who Wilt Chamberlain was.
Oh, yeah. My mom's a huge Lakers fan in the 80s. Yeah.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
Very good.
Wow.
And were you freaked out by as a 10-year-old by the nature of the script? I mean, because I'm scared watching it as a 49-year-old.
It sort of had the reverse effect on me that it's hard to get scared at horror movies now because I have an appreciation from how it's done from the inside. And it was one of the most fun shoots I've ever done. I mean, there was lots of... It wasn't a particularly gory film, I don't think, but the creepiness was sort of countered by the fact that you just had a group of friends you were working with, I guess.
And it's the 20th anniversary of The Sixth Sense right now.
August 6th this year, yeah.
20 years.
Yeah.
Where do you stand on the subject of talking about the ending? 20 years in, is it still too soon to talk
Oh
about?
no! If you don't know it now, and I encounter people who do not know the ending, which is fun. But if you don't know it now,
But
know.
even that, we're tiptoeing around it right now.
We are, yeah. That's how much Night has gotten us, yeah.
Well, we're just, I don't know, isn't it? One would say that it's courtesy.
Yeah.
I think it's
actually
courtesy. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
20 years though is a long time.
All right. Next one. Bruce Willis would DJ crew parties on the weekends during the filming.
Oh
of The
yeah,
Sixth
they
Sense.
threw some great parties. Yeah, I was 10, so I didn't go to those. But
Come
I
on,
heard
you could
the
talk
playlist.
about it if you did.
I can't remember the song, but I remember walking onto set on one Monday, and Night was like, "Bruce, when you put on that one track, like." Yeah.
So you did not. You
no,
still-
I didn't go to the parties when I was 10. Yeah.
But you heard about them.
I heard about it. Yeah.
All right, and last one for you. In your film debut, you were cast in Forrest Gump because the casting director noticed you in a Pizza Hut commercial.
That's right. My first ever on-camera thing. Yeah.
How old
Bigfoot
were you for
Pizza.
that?
I was 4. Yeah, 1992.
Look at that picture of you, brother.
There it is.
It looks like you haven't aged a day. I'll be very honest with you.
Oh, thanks.
Have you kept anything from that film?
Yes.
What do you have?
From that day, there'd been a huge rainstorm, flooded base camp. A PA and waiters picked me up and took me over to Zemeckis' trailer where he and Tom were rewriting the last scene at the bus stop. And Tom Hanks, after talking with me about it, wrote out the new dialogue on a legal pad in red marker and gave it to me to memorize. So I have that framed still.
Do you remember the line?
No. You know, I can memorize things fast, and as soon as I'm done, it's out. It's
Do you remember
Yeah.
the original ending though? What was it?
No, I don't. Yeah. I remember that script though. Whenever they changed something, when things were still physical,
Yes.
you'd get a new color pages, and that was like a rainbow. There was so many edits and changes and time periods they were dealing with. So I
That
remember
sounds that sounds like a line from the film. It's like a rainbow. Did you keep anything from The Sixth Sense? No,
Probably.
I just don't know.
Weren't a lot of props. I probably have the toy soldiers that he was playing with. Yeah.
That's awesome, brother.
Yeah.
And I've told you this before. I'll tell you again. That moment where Tom Hanks, Forrest Gump, realizes that you're his son, and notices that, what does he say, that you're normal? Has he said that or something like that?
Is he like me?
Is he like me?
Yeah. And he's incredible.
That gets me. It really just gets me right here.
Yeah.
You too, brother. Thanks for coming on. It's
really great talking to you, man.
Hopefully
Thank you.
Hopefully next time I see you.
I have some big news to talk about.
Yes. Hopefully Bryce Harper will be in your fold. Where's he going this week? He's talking to the Phillies this week.
Phillies are going to Vegas to talk to him.
But what are the Phillies going to get him and Manny Machado? What are
I
they
don't know
going to
how
do?
the Phillies have all this money.
What are they going to do?
Yeah. Where is that
I don't know
coming
where
from?
that's coming from.
Maybe that's where Jimmy Butler will wind up too, because he's unhappy across town. Or
No,
across the parking
he'll
lot.
get Gabe Kapler fired too.
Look at you. Look at you. Hot taken.
Let him take the 5-year deal, Scott.
There you go. Hey, we had Boris on the other day.
Oh, nice.
At Haley Joel Osment on Twitter. Good to see you here, sir.
Great to see you,
Check
man.
out again The Future Man Hulu series season 2, Friday, January 11th. That's when it will be premiering.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.